Have to repeat the whole thing now. Or maybe one of you can repeat and it can be recorded. Okay, Hare Krishna. We'll continue our discussion on Bhagavad Gita Chapter 2, Sthita-Prajña, Art of Steadiness. Today we are going to discuss shloka number 57. Ya sarvatra nabhisneha tat tat prapya shubha shubham. Nabhinandati na dveshti tasya prajna pratishtita. Yaha, one who, sarvatra, everywhere, anabhisneha, without affection, tat, that, prapya, achieving, shubha, good, ashubham, evil, na, never, abhinandati, praises, na, never, dveshti, envies, tasya, his, prajna, perfect knowledge, pratishtita, fixed. Okay, somebody can read this. Yeah, can you read this, Raju?
In the material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge.
Yeah, purport also.
There is always some upheaval in the material world which may be good or evil. One who is not agitated by such material upheavals, who is unaffected by good and evil, is to be understood to be fixed in Krishna consciousness. As long as one is in the material world, there is always the possibility of good and evil because this world is full of duality. But one who is fixed in Krishna consciousness is not affected by good and evil because he is simply concerned with Krishna, who is all good absolute. Such consciousness in Krishna situates one in a perfect transcendental position called technically samadhi.
Samadhi. So here, Krishna is talking about complete absorption in God. This is another quality. The qualities of saintly person, right? That's the question of Arjuna. What are the qualities of a self-realized person? Sthita-Prajñasya kabasha samadhistasya keshava sthitadhir kim prabhajeta kimasita vrajeta kim. That was in 2.54. So there Arjuna used the word samadhi. Samadhis tasya keshava. Tasya means of the saintly person. Samadhi. How is his absorption? How is his absorption? How is he situated in his meditation or in his absorption? Okay, how is he situated? So here Krishna says, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. So what is this knowledge here? A saintly person is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. This is that knowledge. Okay, before I tell, any guesses here? What is this knowledge? A person who is unaffected by good and bad. Why is he unaffected? Because of knowledge. So what is this knowledge that Krishna is talking about?
Maya is transient. It's all there.
Maya?
It's very transient. Like the material world is very transient. It's not permanent.
Okay, so by design, material world is like that. Okay, that's good. That's one good thought. Another one?
Krishna is the absolute.
Krishna is the absolute. Behind everything, whether it is good or bad, there is Krishna's hand. So saintly person always thinks that whatever happens in life, whether it is good or bad, there is Krishna's hand behind it. Nothing happens without the will of God. Not a blade of grass moves without the will of God. So we all know this famous quotation. Since childhood we have been hearing this. And we are trying to establish faith in that statement. Not a blade of grass moves without the will of God. We see so many blades of grass every day, but still we don't have faith. We see the blade of grass moving, but we don't think of that statement that time. Okay? So tomorrow you try. You go to your backyard and see. Then the blades of grass are moving. So this time for a couple of months, don't cut your lawn. Let the lawn grow into grasses, long strands of grass, so that there is a wind, and then you will see blades of grass moving. Then you will remember this statement. Not a blade of grass moves without the will of God. Huh? So this is that knowledge, that a saintly person sees the hand of God behind everything. Okay, whether it is good or bad, anything. In fact, for a saintly person, there is no difference between good and bad. Both are same only. Both are blessings of God. Parishit Maharaj, when he was cursed to die in 7 days by the bite of a snake, Parishit Maharaj, he was not disturbed, he was not agitated. He thought Krishna is coming in the form of this shapam. Krishna is coming in the form of this shapam. Dvija Shapa Rupam. Now, for us, according to our understanding, the form of Krishna means either Krishna's Sakshat Sachidananda Swarupam, if Krishna appears in front of you, or in your dream, or in your heart, or the deity form of Krishna. We have Krishna deity here and Balaji deity there in that hall. So these are different forms of Krishna according to our understanding. Or the Bhagavad Gita is a book form of Krishna. Bhagavatam is a book form of Krishna. All the Vedas are book forms of Krishna. Vangmaya Rupa. The Vedas are Vangmaya Rupa of Krishna. Literary incarnation. Okay, the Vedas are literary incarnation of Bhagavan. So according to our understanding, these are the different forms. But look at Parishit Maharaj's level. He thinks that Shapam, that curse, is a form of God. That Shapam is a form of God. That means whatever calamity is in his life, that is nothing but a form of God. Like Ramachandra, like Krishna, like Narsimha. It is a form of God. So how beautiful is that? Dvija Shapa Rupam. So considering that there is God's hand behind everything, good or bad, that is one understanding. But Parikshit's understanding is even one level above that. He's thinking that God has come in that form. Just like God comes in different yugas, in different avatars, Parikshit Maharaj is thinking, he has come, Krishna has come in that form. So how beautiful is that? So yeah, as somebody said, who said? Yeah, you said, right? That's the first statement in the purport. That's material world, by design it is like this. There's always some upheaval in the material world, which may be good or evil. One who is not agitated by such material upheavals, who is unaffected by good and evil, is to be understood, to be fixed in Krishna consciousness. So a person who thinks that there is hand of God behind everything, there's a popular saying, right? Behind every man's success, there is a woman. I don't know how far that is true, but behind every person's success, there is a man. Behind every man's success, there is a man. Behind every woman's success, there is a man. This is the new statement. Or you can simplify it. Behind everyone's success, there is a man. Okay? So from today onwards, all the men, let's refine this statement. No more woman monopoly. So let's make it as man. So behind success of every person, there is a man. The Purushottama. Man means that Purushottama. So this is absorption. That seeing the presence of God behind everything, seeing the hand of God behind everything, this is absorption, samadhi. Okay. Uh, Now, when I say this word samadhi, what comes to your mind?
Meditation.
Hmm?
Meditation.
Meditation. Okay. Yeah, that is the last stage in Ashtanga Yoga, which is part of meditation. Yes, very good. What else?
Someone who has sacrificed everything or
Someone who has sacrificed everything. Okay. Hmm.
except their great magic.
Okay. What else?
Alignment of mind, body, and spirit.
Alignment of mind, body, and spirit. Okay. Very good. Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah. What else?
A state when good or bad doesn't matter.
Hmm?
A mind state when good and bad doesn't matter. Everything is same.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Krishna is telling in this shloka. But samadhi, when you hear the word samadhi, what comes to your mind?
State of steadiness.
Hmm?
State of steadiness.
State of steadiness. Okay.
Thoughtless state.
Thoughtless state. Okay. Very good. Thoughtless state. Yeah. Don't say that I don't have an experience. Samadhi. So I was thinking somebody will tell at least the samadhi means the graveyard. So that's the typical samadhi, according to our understanding, right? So when I ask you to think of an image, that image will come to your mind. Okay? Samadhi. So the saintly people, uh, the bhakti sadhana that they do in that specific body, because of their absorption, that body has greater impact, that even after their death, their body is not buried, their body is not burnt. It is buried. It's buried and they'll make a samadhi on top of that. We have heard so many samadhis. There is a samadhi for Ramanujacharya, there is a samadhi for Madhvacharya, there is a samadhi for Prabhupada, there is a samadhi for so many previous acharyas, there are samadhis for Alvars, there are samadhi for Shad Goswamis from Bengal region, samadhi for Vallabhacharya. There are so many samadhis. There is samadhi for Raghavendra Swami in Mantralayam. In fact, during British time, the British people, they wanted to do something in Mantralayam. They wanted to build some big, building, some government office there. And the place where they wanted to build this government office, there was samadhi of Raghavendra Swami in Mantralayam. Mantralayam is a place in South India. So then all the followers of Raghavendra Swami, they objected because the British government, they wanted to demolish this samadhi and build a government office there. So the followers of Raghavendra Swami, they objected. And but they told one thing to the British government, saying that we are objecting this, but if Raghavendra Swami gives permission, then you can demolish and you can build. Then they did not understand because Raghavendra Swami left this world; he's no more. So how can the British people ask Raghavendra Swami? Then the followers said, you can go near the samadhi of Raghavendra Swami and ask, and he will respond. They did not believe. They thought, these people are crazy. How can a dead person talk? But because there is no other option, they didn't want to create too much of friction between the government and these followers of Raghavendra Swami. So they went near Samadhi and asked the same thing. Can we demolish this Samadhi and build a government office here? And then to their surprise and to their shock, Raghavendra Swami spoke. He loudly said no. And then that British government officer, out of fear, he ran away. He ran away. So that's the power of absorption. Even after they left this material world, they still continue to show their impact. So a saintly person is not powerful only when he is living. But even after they left, they continue to show their power. That's why it is believed that Ramanujacharya's body is still preserved. It's still preserved. Because that is the body in which he performed bhakti. And there are different stories. If you have ever gone to Sri Rangam, so you will see Ramanujacharya's body. Okay, outside the temple building, you will see Ramanujacharya's body, which is preserved with the camphor, sandalwood paste, all those things. Okay, there are no chemicals used, but the body is still preserved. 1,000 years. Okay. There is another story that his body is actually preserved somewhere in the caves, and what we see is not the actual body, but his body is there. It is still preserved. And there are some stories like Tukaram. Tukaram, how did he go to spiritual world? How did he go to spiritual world? Anybody from Maharashtra here? No? Okay. So, Tukaram, because of his purity, is a saintly person. He's a Sankirtanacharya. Just like how we have Annamacharya, Tyagaraj, Purandardas. Like that we have Tukaram, who is a great Sankirtanacharya. He has written so many abhangs glorifying Vittal. So Tukaram, he went back to spiritual world in the same body. Usually what happens is, when we achieve perfection in bhakti, when we go to spiritual world, we discard this material body and we will get a new spiritual body that is made of Satchidananda. But there are some special devotees, very few special devotees, who went back to spiritual world in the same body in which they performed bhakti. Tukaram is one example. Because that's the body in which the bhakti was performed. It was so strong, so intense. So even God did not want to discard that body. So he gave a boon to Tukaram to come to spiritual world in the same body. Okay. So this is the absorption here. As I think Natasha or somebody said, right? Samadhi means meditation. In the Ashtanga Yoga process, out of the 8 limbs, starting with Yama, Niyama, Asana, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Samadhi is the last stage. So Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. These 3 are dealing with meditation. These are different levels of meditation. Dharana is preliminary stage of meditation. And Dhyana is a medium level of meditation. Samadhi is complete absorption. That's the complete meditation. There is no other thought. You said no thought, right? Samadhi means no thought. But the yogi's Samadhi is, they are completely fixed on the thoughts of Paramatma. Yeah. So no thought, that is voidism. See, there is impersonalism, there is voidism. Impersonalism means believing that there is no form for God. God is Nirakar, Nirguna. That is Mayavadi philosophy. Okay, impersonalist, Mayavadi, these are same. Their understanding of God is, God means light, some Brahma Jyoti. And after death, they go and merge in that Brahma Jyoti. Okay, that is impersonalism. And voidism means no thoughts. They also have Samadhi. People who are practicing voidism, they are called Shunyavadi. Okay, They also meditate, but they meditate on what? They meditate on shunyam, nothing, which is much more difficult than what Ashtanga yogis practice. Ashtanga yogis, at least they meditate on Paramatma, and Paramatma will reveal. Paramatma will give darshan to them. But these Shunyavadis, they have to become thoughtless, as you said, and they have to meditate on Shunyam, which is extremely difficult. That's why you may not find any Shunyavadi. Zero Shunyavadi. Shunyavadis are Shunya. Ashtanga yogis, at least, if you go to Himalayas, you will see them. But Shunyavadi, I don't think anybody exists these days. Okay, so that is Samadhi. '58. यदा संहरते चायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. Okay, Vamshi, can you read this?
One who is able to withdraw his senses from sense objects, as the tortoise draws its link within its shell, is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. A test of a yogi, devotee, or self-realized soul is that he is able to control the senses according to his plan. Most people, however, are servants of the senses and are thus directed by the dictation of the senses. That is the answer to the question as to how the yogi is situated. The senses are compared to venomous serpents. They want to act very loosely and without restriction. The yogi or the devotee must be very strong to control the serpents, like a snake charmer. He never allows them to act independently. As are many injunctions in the revealed scriptures, some of them are do nots, and some of them are do's. Unless one is able to follow the do's and the don'ts, restricting oneself from sense enjoyment, it is not possible to be firmly fixed in Krishna consciousness. The best example set herein is the tortoise. The tortoise can, at any moment, wind up its senses and exhibit them again at any time for particular purposes. Similarly, the senses of the Krishna conscious persons are used only for some particular purpose in the service of the Lord and are withdrawn otherwise. Arjuna is being taught here to use his senses for the service of the Lord, instead for his own satisfaction. Keeping the senses always in the service of the Lord is the example set by the analogy of the tortoise, who keeps the senses within.
So this is a beautiful shloka. Yada samharate chayam kurmongani va sarvashah indriyan indriyartebhyah tasya prajna pratishtita. So here Krishna is giving an analogy of a tortoise to instruct us how to control the senses. Just like a tortoise has its limbs, shown outward. Whenever, when there is no danger from any external objects, external living entities, the tortoise freely moves around, keeping all the limbs outside externally. But as soon as the tortoise sees any danger from outside, immediately withdraws all the senses, all the limbs, and hides them under the shell, inside the shell. And when other external living entities, even if they see this shell, they may not think that it's a living entity. They may think that it is some rock or stone. But even if they come to know about it, a wild animal like tiger or lion, they can figure out that this is not a rock or stone, but it's a living entity. Even if the lion or tiger comes near the shell, the lion tries to topple the shell and make it upside down. Still, The lion cannot do anything. Lion cannot penetrate through the shell. It's so hard. So that's how tortoise protects itself. Uh, if you go to any temple in India, okay, I mean especially temples constructed 50 years or 100 years ago. The modern temples, I don't know, but at least in the olden temples, in every temple, you will see tortoise outside the temple. Not the real tortoise, but a stone tortoise you will see outside. So this is the reason. This is the reason that when you are entering, before you enter inside the temple, sanctum sanctorium, you have to withdraw your senses. You have to control your senses. You have to control your senses, mind, everything. The moment we see, okay, one second here. So the moment we see the tortoise, we get reminded that we have to control our senses. We have to keep our senses in control and focus on God. So that's a reminder for us there. So, hmm. So if we don't explicitly control the senses, what will happen to the senses? The senses will go here and there. They'll be navigated wherever they want to be engaged. Okay. So if the sense of the eye sees a beautiful object, the eye wants to focus on that. If the sense of smells something, some fragrance, some aromatic thing, so then the sense of smell wants to fix on that one. So like that, the senses go in all directions. If there is no control, if they are not properly controlled, the senses go in all different directions, and that causes disturbance. So what's the reason why the senses go in different directions all the time? The senses are always going after sense objects. Why? What's the motive? Pleasure, happiness, right? Senses want to be happy. Senses want to get happiness. Senses want to feel that pleasure, that happiness. But the happiness is within us. Happiness is within us. Have you heard about musk deer? We only heard about Elon Musk, not the musk deer. You heard about it? Okay. What do you know about musk deer?
Like the stool of it has some kind of fragrance. I may be wrong. I don't know.
Not the stool, but the musk deer, it develops some tumors on the body.
Okay.
Okay.
So it wanders here and there, thinking that where from somewhere the smell is coming.
Yeah.
It doesn't understand it is coming from itself.
Yeah. Yeah. So the musk deer is known as kasturi. Musk means kasturi. Kasturi jinka. Okay. Musk deer. So from time to time, this musk deer develops some tumors on the external, exterior to the body. And those tumors deliver beautiful fragrance. And then this musk deer thinks that it is coming from a faraway place. Like if the musk deer thinks a tree from a faraway place, the deer thinks that the fragrance is coming from the tree. And then the deer runs very fast in search of that fragrance. The deer thinks that if I go near the tree, I can experience that fragrance much more. And then there's no fragrance there. And then the deer sees another object and thinks that the fragrance is coming from there. Like that, the deer runs all around, and finally what happens is gets tired and dies. Gets tired and dies. So the deer is giving up his body just for getting happiness. The deer is giving up its own body, its own life, just for getting some little happiness. Happiness to only one sense, the sense of smell. Not all the senses also, just for one smell, just for one sense, one of the senses, to give happiness to one of the senses, the deer is giving up its own life. What a tragedy. But the entire fragrance is within the body only. So this is the state of everyone in the life, in the material world. This is the same state for all of us. We are thinking the happiness is in the external sense objects, but the happiness is within. So we have to become inward. So this is the quality of a saintly person. Saintly person is always antarmukh. He is not bahyamukh, but he is always antarmukh. He is always focusing inside. He is deriving happiness from within. As it is said in Bible, seek and you shall find. What does that mean? Seek and you shall find means. Seek and you shall find means, if you want a guru, if you want a genuine guru, seek and you shall find. If you want to see God, seek and you shall find God. If you want to seek happiness, seek and you shall find happiness. So seek within and you shall find happiness. So we just have to learn techniques how to seek that happiness, right? Seek happiness within means what? What does it mean practically? So, do I put a tube and look through the scope? What is that? Yeah. So some scope, endoscopy or something like that. No, it doesn't work like that. So we have to understand what is the technique to seek happiness from within. The senses are compared to venomous serpents. Senses are compared to venomous serpents. There is another analogy given in this context of sense gratification, that we have seen giraffes, right? Giraffes, they live in desert. In the desert, what they do is they bite into these cactus trees. Cactus trees? Huh? Oh, camel. Yeah, not giraffe, camel. So they bite into these cactus plants. And cactus plant has all these thorns. When the camel bites into the cactus plant, it hurts their gums and bleeds. And the camel thinks that oh, this blood is going to give me pleasure. This blood is going to give me pleasure. So in that attempt, the camel is going to bite into the cactus more and more, just to extract more blood, thinking that the blood is going to give happiness. So what is the lesson for us from that camel and cactus?
Touching happiness also.
No.
After the senses.
Huh?
Not to go after where your senses lead.
Yeah, that's okay. But from this specific example.
Sexual enjoyments hurt you.
Huh?
They can hurt you while you eat food or something. They can damage you from within.
Okay.
They can trick you in believing that that's happiness.
Okay. What else?
Even we are hurt, we will find enjoyment in it.
Even if we get hurt,
We will find enjoyment.
will you find enjoyment?
No, without even knowing that.
Oh.
Without even knowing that we are being hurt,
Yeah.
we will still enjoy it. We will think that we will still get some benefit out of it.
Okay.
We will still get some satisfaction.
Okay.
We are hurt, but we don't understand that.
So from this analogy, what we can understand is, in our life, we do many things. In fact, we overdo things in an attempt to get happiness. In that attempt, we get hurt, we get cheated, we get disappointed, we get discouraged. We see so many failures, but still we keep on trying. We keep on trying the same thing or different thing, trying to get happiness in different ways. Stock market is a classic example. Okay, you invest in stock market, and then everybody will lose, or there are only few people who don't lose. Okay, or there are only few people who can make good profits in stock market. So a person who loses, let's say 1 million in stock market, what will he think? As the old quotation says, find where you have lost. What is the correct saying? Search? Something like that, right? You understood the essence. That means wherever you lost it, if you search in the same place, you will find it. So this investor, he thinks that he's not an investor. He's not a savvy investor. He's a software engineer. He doesn't have good knowledge of stock market. But so he thinks, okay, I lost in stock market. So the only place I can recover is against stock market only. So he will invest more in an attempt to recover that loss, and in that attempt, he will lose more. And he will try third time, he will try fourth time, fifth time, like that, until he burns his hands completely. He will keep on trying. So this is the state of everyone. Just to get happiness, we do many things. Snakes, the senses are compared to venomous serpents. They want to act very loosely and without restriction. So I'll say one last thing and we'll finish after that. So basically Krishna in this shloka, he's talking about sense control of a saintly person. The previous shloka, what quality? Samadhi, absorption. And one previous to that? This is 58. So 57 is Samadhi, 56 is seeing hand of God behind everything. Dukkesh vanudvigna manaha. No, not that one. That's the one. Yeah. Dukkesh vanudvigna manaha sukeshu vigataspruhaha vitaraga bayakroda stitadhir muniruchyate. So seeing the hand of God behind everything. And then the next level is absorption, complete absorption in God. And then now Krishna is talking about sense control. A saintly person has this quality of controlling his senses completely. That's why they are called as Goswami. Okay, Goswami. Go means senses. In Sanskrit, Go means senses. Go can mean many things. Go can mean cows. Go can mean senses. Go can mean earth also. Okay, there are different meanings of the word go. Go means gopikas. Go means gopa boys. Different things. Go Swami. Swami means controller, right? Controller of his senses. He is not controlled by senses. And Prabhupada gives an analogy of a snake charmer. Snake charmer, he is controlling the snake. That's why the snake does not, the snake only moves according to his tune. According to the tune of the snake charmer, the snake moves. That's how he has trained the snake. So we have to become like that. We have to train our senses like that. Now, in order to give the training to our senses, we need to understand the big picture. So if you look at the front cover page of Bhagavad Gita book, right? There is a chariot, and then there are horses. There are some ropes controlling the horses, and Krishna is holding those ropes. And there is a chariot. Arjuna is sitting on the chariot, and Krishna is also sitting on the chariot. So this whole thing is described in Gopala Tapani Upanishad as chariot of life. That whole picture that you see is described as chariot of life. So what does it contain? What are the different components of that? Huh?
Five senses.
The horses are senses. The 5 horses are senses. And the ropes that are controlling the horses, what do they represent?
Control. Control.
Jivatma.
No.
Mind.
Hmm?
Mind.
Mind. Yes. Mind you said? Yeah. The ropes are mind. Okay. And then Krishna is holding on to the ropes, right? Krishna is controlling those ropes. So what does Krishna represent? Hmm? Conscious? No.
Paramatma.
Hmm? Intelligence. Yes. Senior. That's why she was able to tell. Intelligence. And then chariot.
Jiva. Body.
Chariot is body. And Arjuna is Atma. Jivatma. Okay. So there is body, soul, mind, intelligence, and senses. These are the 5 components of human life. 5 components of human life. We have this external body. Within the body, there is a soul. And then we have subtle body. Subtle body consisting of mind, intelligence, and false ego. Okay. So let's leave false ego aside, but focus on mind, intelligence, and there are senses also. Body means senses, basically. Okay. Body means senses. So let's try to understand which one controls what. If we understand that, then we can figure out how to train our senses, just like how the snake charmer controls the snake. At the lowest level, and Krishna later in the later chapters, he describes the anatomy or hierarchy of these different components in human life. At the lowest level, there are senses. At the bottommost level, there are senses. Above senses is the mind. Above mind is intelligence. Above intelligence is the soul. Okay, Atma. So, in the absence of intelligence, what will happen? In the absence of good intelligence, if you don't cultivate good intelligence, the mind will control the senses, right? In the absence of good intelligence, the mind will dictate wrong instructions to the senses, and the senses will go in wrong directions. So we have to cultivate good intelligence. We have to sharpen our intelligence by reading Shastra, by reading Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana. Ramayana, if you know, this is the most most neglected scripture in today's society. Bhagavad Gita, at least, people make an attempt to read and understand, but Ramayana is the most neglected one. If you read Ramayana, you will understand the way of life, how to lead life, how to be a good citizen, how to be a good father, how to be a good husband, how to be a good wife, how to be a good child, all these things. Ramayana has all these great lessons. So, if not reading the Ramayana, at least hear something, hear some lectures about Ramayana. So by reading Shastras, we can sharpen our intelligence. We can cultivate good intelligence. When we have that intelligence will control the mind, which in turn will control the senses in good direction. Okay. So while we are cultivating good intelligence, we must also make an explicit effort to control the senses. We cannot say that, okay, I'll just read Shastra, which will automatically control my senses. Because as per this hierarchy diagram, intelligence is on the top. If you cultivate intelligence, that will feed into mind, which will control the senses in good direction. No, that's not how it works. We have to make an effort to cultivate good intelligence and also make an explicit effort to control senses. So there's a small story. We'll end with this. So once there was a king. Okay. The king has faith in Shastra, but his son, unfortunately, he's on the wrong path. He was going on the wrong path. So he takes the son to a nearby ashrama and he tells the guru that you keep my son with you, and I request you to train my son and make him a good person. So you take whatever time you want, 6 months, 1 year, whatever time you want, you keep him here. And then the king says, but as you know, he's a prince. Okay, he's a prince and he's used to these royal comforts of life. So give him some nice comforts, nice accommodation, nice food, all those things. And the guru says, all right. And then after 6 months, the king comes here again, to see the son. And there is no change in the son. Then he asked the guru, what happened? It's been 6 months. I don't see any change in him. The guru tells him, we have been teaching him all the Shastra. Every day there's a morning program, afternoon program, evening program. He's attending all the classes. He's making, he's listening to everything. But there's no progress because you only told me that give him all royal comforts. So where is the process of controlling the senses? And without controlling the senses, where is the real happiness? So then the king says, okay, so now you do whatever. Now I leave it up to you. You train him the way you think is the best way to train. And then after 6 months, the king comes again and sees a completely transformed son. This time he has not only cultivated his intelligence, but the guru trained him how to control the senses also. Like becoming austere, restricting your food, regulating your life, regulating your habits, regulating your lifestyle, all those things. So when everything is done in a regulated way, then our senses will be controlled, and we will get a mutual benefit from the process of sharpening our intelligence by reading Shastra, and also from the process of controlling our senses. Okay. So any questions, comments, reflections? All good? Mind, intelligence, senses, everything is good? Okay. Okay, so thank you everyone. We'll see you all next week. Okay, Hare Krishna.